Alright, welcome! It's finally out! Fuck yes! I have been waiting for this mod for Sonic Unleashed for fucking months. And it's not fully done, I don't think. There's still the Werehog that still needs to be finished and a couple other things. But for the most part, it is finished. And we're gonna be playing AB Unleashed. Hell yeah. I'm gonna hop in voice chat. And then where the fuck is Sonic Unleashed? There it is. And so this mod is going to play a bit different than normal Unleashed, since they did give it a, they gave Amy her own moveset. Game capture. There we go. And I do have a couple other mods that are a lot smaller. But the focus is going to be Amy. And I do have a separate Werehog mod on, because we're going to be doing we're just going to be playing the game. Alright, share screen there. And then there is a new save. There goes my old save. I don't do much with it anyway, besides occasionally play through. Get my stream up on my phone. Sonic, what are you doing here? This isn't your game, this is Amy's game. Yeah, I know everybody says this, but this opening cutscene is so good. It's so cool. And they never do anything like it. Even with, Sonic has really good CG cutscenes, but it has never come close to this. And that makes me sad, because I would like them to do more like this. He's so fluid and, well animated. And then you cut to nowadays where it's just incredibly choppy animation. Look at this shit. It's so fucking good. Marza cooks so hard.
I'm sorry. Really, look, go easy on me. I'll turn over a new leaf, I swear. Just give me a chance.
Well, this is new. Showing remorse, Eggman? If you played nice, I wouldn't have to break all your toys.
Gotcha.
I miss you, Jason Griffith Sonic. Too bad I'm not going to be playing this game as Jason Griffith Sonic. I'm playing as Emsbury Amy. Which, her Amy voice is so incredible. Like, it's so good for Amy.
I've waited a long time for this.
And then you look at her current, like, Amy's voice in Crossworlds. I'm gonna try not to go on a rant about it, but I fucking despise the direction and voice acting in Crossworlds. Specifically for Amy, and even more so Rouge. Like, Amy's hurts me because Amy's my favorite character. Rouge is just objectively abhorrent. Like, every voice line in that game, she's just moaning. And I am not, like, I'm probably not going to be playing Rouge in Crossworlds because I could not deal with that. Like, I can deal with Amy because her, like, voice lines in-game, they're pretty solid. It's just her delivery for the actual full lines. Also my goat, the werehog. I am a huge werehog defender. A brilliant success! Just...
The entity that was sealed within the planet has awakened. Now I just need to harness its power. Eggman Land will finally come to be.
You've really gone and done it this time, Eggman.
Ah, Sonic, that's a good look for you. Festive. So long, friend.
They really perfected everything about this game, and it was way too ahead of its time. It was on dog shit hardware that couldn't handle it, and they just went straight in the opposite direction with colors, and I hate it. Like, this is my favorite Sonic game for a reason. It's, like, this, to me, is peak Sonic. And it's funny how, like, they perfected the boost formula for the first game, like, the first 3D game it was in, and then never again. And that just makes me sad. I like the rosy pat. Oh yeah, I forgot I have Donkey Kong on. I forgot it's Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong's dead. Yeah, y'all thought we were over with the fucking DK Bonanza streams. Nah, we got more of this shit coming. It's just in a completely different game. And there's Miku.
Are you okay?
I can't eat another bite.
Hey, pull yourself together.
It's funny though, this is an Amy and Lee stream. We haven't heard or seen Amy at all yet.
You okay? Nothing broken?
Oh, I'm just fine. Mr. Monster Guy.
Mr. Monster Guy?
Miku, that is a gorilla.
Looks like things have gotten pretty ugly.
Yeah.
Nah, just low poly.
And those claws. Well, what's your name anyway?
Those teeth and those claws. The low poly. I guess you could say that they're claws. They're so sharp. God, I love chips so much. But this makes it like 10 times funnier.
Everything just going all right. And then nothing. Like the remember him past that.
Did I fall on him?
Oh man, what I could do? What can I do? Where do we go from here? What do I...
It's probably the lighting, but why is her clothes so shiny and like metallic?
Really? You mean it?
Absolutely. I'm sure we'll find.
Yeah, it's just the lighting, I think.
Oh, thank you.
That and just the model is incredibly metallic, and I think they forgot to turn that off. Because that's how a lot of like MMD models work, is that a lot of them are built to be incredibly metallic for whatever reason. And I assume they're using an MMD model. Alright, we just swapped. We swapped with Amy now. And yes, I'm using the Dulce. Because...
Here we go.
Wee! Oh. Oh. There we go. Unleashing the Amy's right now. Damn right we are. And I got no things from that.
What do you figure that was all about? The hair?
Okay, so the cutscenes aren't voiced yet.
Chaos emeralds.
I assume that they're gonna do that, but
You usually look like...
this is still like the first stage of the mod.
This is the real me. Pretty cool, huh?
At least, I guess we got Jason Griffith Amy. Imagine it was compatible with the Miku mod and it just, instead of calling her Chip, Amy would just be calling Miku Miku.
Down, but they'll still line up for a taste.
Beam.
Hey! What about your memories?
Oh, chocolate chip sundae supreme.
You said it. Enjoy it, kiddo. Satisfaction guaranteed. If you don't love it,
I fucking adore Chip. He is a top tier Sonic character. I don't care what anybody says. I'm sorry, Miku. Miku is a top tier Sonic character.
You give me a hand and help look for somebody.
Technically, this is canon to Miku because everything is canon for Miku. Every fan project and everything.
Gotta call you something, don't I?
It's just different Mikus.
Yeah, chip, chip. I love it. Yeah.
Now what do you say?
And also, it doesn't sound like Miku saying shit, unfortunately. That's like my one gripe with the mod. It doesn't sound like she's saying shit. He looks so strange. I don't know why, like, that kid always looked weird to me. He looked goofy. Alright, now for an actual level.
Here we go.
Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm gonna restart that.
Here we go.
Why is my camera... Why is the control camera like this? That's so weird.
Here we go!
There we go. Oh shit, I don't have any ring energy. Oh. Here's the thing. Oh. Hold on, there's a moon thing there. I need to get those. Fuck! This is... Okay, I guess the game just doesn't want me to play it. Sure. It doesn't want me to get the collectibles that are required for game. Honestly, I might just get the mod that, like, gets rid of that requirement. Because I do not feel like going back and, like, backtracking for all the medals. Oh. Okay. I didn't even mean to jump. Oh. Okay. They're going this way. Well. Ooh.
Feeling good!
Yay. So, okay, I think it adds a lot, it gets rid of a lot of the stiffness with the movement, which is really good for, like, some sections, but really bad for others.
Feeling good!
Oh.
Feeling good!
God, and I'm so glad that this mod, like, I was waiting a long time for this mod to come out. One of the reasons is because the original Amy mod that they made, like, somebody made for Unleashed, it used AI voice lines that sounded really off, and also it's AI. I don't want that in my mods. Or I don't want to use a mod that uses AI. But it mostly is, it felt very off.
Remember anything yet?
And this sounds a lot better for the voice lines.
Oh well.
Mostly because this is an actual person who knows how Amy's mannerisms are. And it just works. Compared to an AI which cannot do tone. At least, not good tone. Yeah, like, this mod was made primarily by Emsbury. And, like, I was saying this earlier, she is an amazing Amy VA. Like, I love her Amy voice. It is, like, because she is a person who is an Amy fan and knows who Amy is. She knows her stuff. And I love her stuff. And I'm so glad she got to work on this mod. And apparently she's making a mod for Crossworlds, which once I can get the Steam version, I'll probably be using that. Like, I got the Switch version, so I can't play it until it launches.
So sorry.
Because, like, mostly because I don't really want to use, or like, I don't really want to have to boot up my PC every time I want to play it. I want to just be able to sit in bed and play some Crossworlds. Or even just like I mostly prefer to play games on console. I use PC for modding and for streaming. Oh yeah, DK mod. there is not a there's not a Werehog Amy mod yet, which is very unfortunate because I will willingly. So I have a Werehog Amy design, and I would be so down to just let people use that. Because like I think it's a pretty good design, but I would love to just like I would love if people use my Werehog Amy design for mods for Unleashed, because that'd be really cool, I think.
Settle down, guys.
And also, Werehog Amy is a peak concept. Settle down, guys. Come on. As they're just lightly walking. Yeah. And it's got the voice lines too. Oh, I don't have any of my combos. Fuck. I fucking love the Werehog battle theme so much, and I'm very glad it's in Crossworlds. Okay, we got some combos. Huh? Hold up. God, I heard somebody coughing, and I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the game, I don't know. I heard some kind of coughing, and I was like, did somebody else join? I didn't get a notification. Or like the Discord sound. Oh. Banana Slammer. So I am, unlike many people, I am a huge Werehog stage enjoyer. I like to just beat the shit out of people in these stages. Like, I love to, like, just unleash all the combos and shit. The only issue is that you don't get a lot of the combos until way later. And, like, you gotta throw a lot of points into combos. I sure hope there aren't any jazz bands around here. I think it's funny that it's specifically the DK64 model that they went with. Because, like, it's using those voice lines. Like, it's just kind of funny. But I guess this is the most, like, weirdly, it looks the most normal when it's, like, squashing and stretching, because it's already a janky model. Compared to, like, what would be, like, like one of the modern DK models. It would look very, like, stretched and weird sometimes, I think. I think if I ever edit this into a video, I'm just gonna call it The Adventures of Amy and DK. I think it's kind of funny how, like, Unleash or Recompiled actually did affect Sega. Because, like, they wouldn't have put the Werehog in Crossworlds if it wasn't for this port. And, like, people started playing it. And I feel like that's probably the reason why we're not gonna get a, like, actual licensed Unleashed port, is because they already know that this is a thing, and just like, why would we need to do the work? They already did the work for us. And Sega's lazy. Not Sonic Team, Sega's lazy. Like, a lot of Sonic's problems stem from Sega seeing Sonic as a product and not as a character, or, like, as a series. Therefore, like, they'll just try to do anything to appease investors, like change the gameplay, change the characters, stuff like that, to what they think people would want, when people would not want that. Or what investors think people would want. Because at the end of the day, it is still a business. And I feel like that's probably one of the things that hurts Sonic the most, is the corporate aspect of Sega. At least in my opinion. Holy shit, the Bible! I wonder if there's a mod that replaces the Gaia manuscripts with the Holy Bible. Die. God damn. God, and also I apologize for the camera being so jittery. My like right control stick does have drift. So it'll do shit like this when there's a very specific camera that the game wants. And I do very much need to get a new controller. I cannot stand this controller with its fucking drift. Cause it's so much. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Oh my fucking god. Camera, stop doing that. Oh shit, another Bible. Yeah, I need to make enough commission money to get a new controller. I feel like that should be like the next goal. Like new controller, and then fucking new, and then get the new Pokemon game, Pokemon ZA, because I had it pre-ordered, but the fucking Switch voucher didn't consume immediately when I pre-ordered it, so I did not know I didn't have one left over, or I shouldn't have had one left over. This will be DK Bonanza in 2040. This will be DK Bonanza in 2009. When did Unleash come out? God, combos are so satisfying to do in this game. And like the quick time events are, I mean, combos are a whole different thing. But they are also satisfying. Alright, come on. Unleash. Oh, shit. Wrong button. Honestly, I don't blame people for getting pissed off at the DLC. And my worry isn't really about the DLC being 25 bucks. I don't really care enough to get the DLC, and you don't have to get the DLC. I think the main problem is that this is going to turn people off from the game, and Bonanza is such a good game. Like, if it wasn't 5 different 5-hour streams, I would have edited that shit into a video. Because, like, Bonanza is fucking peak. Oh. I'm too used to not having I'm too used to having a large health bar. Fuck. Like, from what I've seen, though, it is not worth 25 bucks. Hell, even 20 bucks. Like, that's like $10 DLC. That's it. Like, it's kind of just leftover stuff from the game that they knew they could have turned into DLC. And also, it is just an extra mode cobbled together at the last minute to give that DLC worth. Come on. There we go. Banana Slammer! Honestly, I wouldn't... I am still of the stance of, like, if you want to buy a Switch 2, go for it. But if you don't really need to, and if you don't need one right at this minute, then just stick with the Switch 1 and buy the Switch 2 once there's some kind of, like, price decrease. Or if you can find a way to snag it cheap. Because, like, for me, it is definitely worth it, but it is not worth it for, like, all the reasons that one would think, I guess is a way to put it. Like, a lot of the Switch 2 exclusive games, they're fantastic. Like, it's such a good way to just be able to play games in bed without it being just stuck on the Switch 1 and complete dog shit. And the Steam Deck, where it is very uncomfortable for me personally to hold. And, like, the Steam Deck makes my hands fall asleep so quickly. And it's just very clunky to hold. Whereas Switch 2, it's a lot light. It's a bit heavier than the original Switch, but it is a lot lighter than the Steam Deck. Even then. And it still is just, it's pretty much as powerful as a PS4. And that's kind of all we really need. Because the only games that are really not going to run, like, not going to be able to work as well are, like, these super high definition bullshit games that don't need to be as high def as they are.
No problem. My Tornado 1 will get us there in a flash. Let's get going.
Leave it to you, Tails. Let's get moving.
Like, there's a lot of pros and cons to the Switch 2, but it is not as bad as fucking haters will constantly say. With a lot of the high prices too, like, yes, there is a lot of just really greedy shit like the Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC, but stuff like the Amiibo price hikes, they have been shown to be a lot cheaper in other countries, and so that's probably very much a tariff thing, which is very unfortunate, but it's just how it is. But I am not gonna get into that. Like, I feel like people just completely forgot that was a thing. Also, yay, my least favorite level in this entire game. Although this music literally is this just reminds me of Shantae. This is just a Half Genie Hero or like Seven Sirens song. Which one of these days I'm gonna finish Seven Sirens. I need to do that. I need to finish that game because it's incredibly good. And also, I am a sucker for Metroidvanias, which can be very obvious if you have seen my Blaze Metroidvania concept art. Like, I love Metroidvanias. That's probably my favorite genre. There we go.
What is that thing?
It's big robot, Amy. That's what it are.
Looks like we've got to beat that thing to get by.
I feel like when people say the quick time events in this game are bad, this is what they're talking about. Yay, it's over. Probably. Yeah. Like, this level isn't really bad in Recompiled. It is horrible in Base Unleashed. Like, on, like, PS3 and Xbox One.
Made it in one piece.
Because, like, the QuickTime events in that game are very... So the game itself is very laggy in, like, PS3 and 360. Because, again, it's not built for that hardware. And, like, it's not... Like, the hardware isn't good enough to run on it, and it's not well optimized. So, of course, the game doesn't function as it should function. And so the fucking game is incredibly laggy. It just doesn't work the way it should. It's very weird. And a whole pack of robots.
It can't be.
That sure sounds like Eggman.
What a horrible thing to do. We've got to help the officer guy.
I'm always expecting Chip, but it's fucking Miku.
He's got very angry by now. And if I wasn't angry, I don't know how long I would last. I'd be dead.
Honestly, such a mood, Miku. Oh my god! It's got that's so cool.
I'm sure Eggman is sweet.
It's got a whole different model.
Not that cool.
Okay. Let's go and find the professor.
I feel like this is perfect for like a sidekick character. Is like Tails can be helping out, but if it's just going to be like a Sonic-centered adventure, it should just be for like a Zelda game basically, where it is Sonic and the little sidekick character. Like Black Knight, Sonic and Caliburn, that's really good. Sonic and Shara for Secret Rings, that's really good. Fucking like this game, Sonic and Chip. I feel like usually it tends to be not the best when it's like bringing in a lot of different characters and not writing it well. Which I don't know how to word it. I completely lost track of what I was talking about. I'm gonna be honest. like a 3D Mario game, exactly. Like usually like the main character and like the small little sidekick of that game, it works really well. Like it works really well with Zelda, 3D Mario games. It works well with Sonic games, unless it's Tails, which I hate that that's a thing, because Tails' whole thing is that he was Sonic's sidekick. And I would love a game that actually had Tails be like a good sidekick to Sonic again. And also just give us a game that like really centers around Sonic and Tails' relationship. I really would love that. And I feel like we do really need that. Yeah, it's like Luigi in 3D Mario games. Like, he doesn't really do a whole lot. Like, I feel like Luigi works better as just secondary playable character, or in, like, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, or just, like, all of the Paper Mario games in general, where he's kind of just doing his own thing, instead of being, like, the secondary sidekick character. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, stuff like Galaxy, Paper Mario, stuff like that, where he's kind of just off on his own little side quest. I feel like that works the best for Luigi. Hell yeah, here we go. Good combos. Yeah, like, you can't play as Luigi until the post-game, but, like, he's kind of just there for a lot of stars and just doing his own thing. And that works incredibly well for Luigi. And I feel like that's where Unleashed does Tails well, is he's kind of just doing his own thing and helping out where he can, instead of just being on the back burner of Sonic and just being kind of just there. Because in a lot of games that are Sonic and Tails, he's kind of just there. And I feel like if you're not going to make him just a whole secondary playable character, then he shouldn't be there. Because he's just kind of standing around half the time. Like, let him help out in his own ways, or let him be playable. And that's what and for a Sonic and Tails centered game, I feel like that should be a game where they're both playable. And, like, Tails is, like, it's literally Sonic and Tails. If that makes sense. Like, I think it makes sense for what I am trying to say. Yeah, Sonic and Tails works for like stuff like the 2D games where they're a duo. But for Sonic and Tails in the 2D games, it's a lot less of just he's just kind of there and more of he feels like he's along the adventure with you. Tails cannot drop dash. That's a Sonic exclusive unless you count Amy's special ability, which I don't really count that as a drop dash. It's sort of her own thing. It's weird. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't rhetoric. How the fuck do you do this puzzle again? I forgot. Yeah, but like I would just like a game where it's centered around Sonic and Tails and focusing specifically on their relationship. Like, let them just have a game where they're on an adventure together and like, let them be brothers, just on an adventure. Like the Mario and Luigi games, but it's Tails. You can use both abilities at your disposal. I see. Also, speaking of character abilities, so I said this on Twitter, but one of the funniest things, and this is not a jab at OCs. This is not a jab at OCs, but one of the funniest things I will ever see is like an OC just randomly having the spin dash. Because what people don't really understand about the spin dash is that it's a technique. It's not an inherent ability. It is a technique that was invented by Tails and learned by Sonic. And assumingly taught to all of the other characters or learned through osmosis. Like, they saw Sonic and Tails using it and were just like, oh, I'm gonna try and learn how to do that. Like, I assume it's the same for Shadow. Like, during SA2, he saw Sonic doing spin dash and was like, oh, I can probably do that, huh? Like, it's a weird thing. Also, Paper Mario like Amy, I would actually really enjoy, like, an Amy RPG. But I don't really know how I would feel about it specifically being an RPG. I feel like Amy would work better as a platformer, or even like how the Blaze idea was a Metroidvania. Like, I don't know if an Amy RPG really works the best, theoretically. Like, it's a weird thing. Like, Amy doesn't really lend herself to be an RPG-style character compared to, like, other Sonic characters. At least on her own. Like, I don't really know any Sonic character who would lend themselves well to an RPG-style game. And, like, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I don't think it really fits Amy specifically at, like, having an RPG of her. I feel like Amy is more of a platformer character. Or, like, a Metroidvania. Like, I saw Emmy Stations, who is an artist on Twitter, come up with an idea for Amy where it essentially is, like, Amy uses her hammer and it can change 2 different weapons to fit the situation, and I feel like that would work pretty well. Like, I feel like that's a pretty good idea for Amy. I just do not see Amy as an RPG, like, character. Well, I mean, that's completely fair for, like, a different idea, but I feel like there's probably a different character in the Sonic series that lends themselves more to the idea of, like, a Paper Mario-style RPG. If that makes sense. Oh, that's where I need to go. That, and, like, there's not really just one kind of RPG. Or, like, not RPG. One kind of platform. Like I said, you could do a Metroidvania for Amy. You could do, like, a puzzle platformer or something. Stuff like that. Tarot cards with conjunction as Dreamer. That makes sense. It's... I don't know. I feel like at that point it would be... Like, it would work. I see the vision. I very much see the vision. But I don't know if that's, like, the perfect thing, you know? Like, it would work. It would work. But I don't know if it's the perfect thing specifically for Amy. Yeah. Like, nothing against the idea. Or, like, saying that the idea is bad. Like, it's a great idea. But I'm not fully sure if it's the best for Amy. Even though the idea is very much it would work. And I can see it. Like, the idea of an Amy game is very odd to think about. Because there's so many possibilities you can do. And same for a lot of different Sonic characters. Like, Tails, I would also say 100% Tails Adventure 2. Do another Metroidvania. I will keep saying a lot of characters Metroidvania. But Tails 100% Metroidvania, or maybe like a shooter, possibly. I'm not sure. Like, a lot of Sonic characters really lend themselves to a Metroidvania really well. Yeah, Tails 100%. Metroidvania game, give us Tails Adventure 2. Come on, Sega. Do it. Yeah, like, Tails Adventure is, by all definitions, already a Metroidvania. And Tails' entire character in being very much a gadget character lends himself insanely well to a Metroidvania. Yeah. Like, I agree that he is the most likely. He's the best choice for a Metroidvania. But there is not just... Like, Metroidvanias aren't exclusively for the fact that you collect gadgets all over the... and, like, tools all over the map. It's... Metroidvanias are centered around exploration. And that lends itself to a lot of Sonic characters. Because there's a lot of Sonic characters that would be really good for an exploration-based game. Like, for example, the idea of Blaze I had was you go around strengthening her fire abilities, and essentially you are like, it's a really good chance to explore the soul dimension. And the main point would be exploration. Whereas for a Tails Metroidvania, it would be upgrades. Like, the main point would be upgrades. You are getting stronger with every new upgrade until Tails is just unstoppable. Blaze definitely does lend it herself to be in just like a Sonic type game, but the problem is there's a lot of characters that could do that. Like, most notably, Shadow just got a game that essentially is the new Super Luigi U of Sonic, or like 2 Sonic generations, and that was Shadow Gens. And I feel like if you want to, like, show off your characters more, making the playstyles more diverse and like game styles more diverse. Like Blaze and Tails would be both ends of the Metroidvania spectrum, unlocking more abilities and exploration. Sonic and Shadow are both the like main Sonic formula. They're running through the area, just breezing through the level. Like Knuckles is one character where I would 100% be down for make a Werehog fighting style, like give him the Werehog combo system, but also add in a little bit of the Knuckles treasure hunting stages from SA2 and like SA1. Like, one, make them not as bad as they are. Like, I'm fine with them, but a lot of people have problems with them. And two, one thing I always see when people are talking about Donkey Kong Bonanza specifically is that could be a Knuckles game. Yeah, exactly what I was just saying. DK Bonanza is the dream Knuckles game. Because you're hunting for treasure, you're punching through everything and fighting enemies. And it is essentially like a really big open sandbox game that you're traveling through. Like, I feel like the one thing is I don't really know what specifically would fit Amy apart from just a simple platformer. Like, think like stuff like 3D Mario, stuff like Battle for Bikini Bottom and like those SpongeBob games. Stuff like that, like just standard platformer, I feel like would fit Amy pretty well. And like take advantage of Amy's unique skill set that would very much, or a platformer that's also a roguelike for Amy. Yeah, Amy is very much a vertical based character, especially with her hammer. Her hammer is very much a tool that can be used for a ton of platforming. And that could be her main gimmick of the game, is you're platforming with her hammer. But another idea I had is, or like another idea I'm having is, what did I just say? A roguelike platformer, where essentially you are going through the platforms and her tarot cards are the roguelike element. You are gaining new abilities based on the random tarot cards, like how you would a roguelike. And I feel like that could work for how to implement her tarot cards. And then as for like Silver, I would just say, mostly inspired by all of the stuff I've seen lately of a like hypothetical Silver game, is kind of just Breath of the Wild. I feel like just Breath of the Wild, but you're going through a dystopian future. That would be perfect for Silver, I think. I feel like that'd be the best idea to do for a Silver game, is dystopian future Breath of the Wild. And then, so I was actually talking about this last night with a couple friends. For the Chaotix, just do Danganronpa. I'll just say that. Just do Danganronpa for Chaotix. Except not just like, not fully exactly Danganronpa, not like killing game, like bullshit. Specifically just like a mystery solving game in the same vein as Danganronpa. Like, I feel like the Chaotix, they lend themselves to a visual novel insanely well, given that they are detectives. And even you could do just like stuff like Danganronpa, Ace Attorney, stuff like that would work really well, in my opinion.
Let's see, what other characters? Rouge... I feel like Rouge would also just be the same as Knuckles. Like, she would probably just be another character in a Knuckles game. Because I don't think she would really... Rouge isn't really a character that lends herself to her own game, if that makes sense. She is more... Like, I love Rouge, but she is more of a vehicle for other characters to go off of. Or, like, Rouge is very much a character that's meant for other characters to shine. And she shines through other characters in her interactions with them. So I feel like she would just kind of be either a secondary character or, like, a rival character in other characters' games. Like, I don't really see Rouge as... like, if you get what I mean, like, I don't see Rouge as a standalone game character. I see her as she is there to play off of other characters. And she does that really well. Yeah, it took the words right out of my... Yeah, like, that is... Like, Rouge's character, like, the crux of her character, plays off of other characters. That's her main thing. And her main skill as a character. And same for Omega. Like, Rouge and Omega, first and foremost, are meant to play off Shadow and his character. That was their design, that was their intention, and I think they do that very well. And I feel like it should stay as that, in my opinion. Because Rouge, again, Rouge doesn't really lend herself to her own game, and Omega definitely doesn't. Omega definitely is not a, like, main character. I adore Omega, but he is not a main character. That's like saying, like, give Marine her own game. Like, she is a character who is centered around Blaze and being Blaze's tails. And that's kind of all she'll be. And I feel the same as Omega. Or I feel the same with Omega. But for, like, Shadow and Rouge. And especially Shadow. Like, a Team Dark game would work really well, but a game that's just the Team Dark members individually wouldn't work. Oh, okay. Ooh, S rank. Yeah. Like, I can't really think of any other character that would have their own standalone game. Like, I don't see, like, Eggman having his own game. I don't really see a lot of characters kind of just doing their own thing. Like, Eggman would work as his own game, with his own game, but he wouldn't really be the best choice.
Are you all right? We got here as fast as we could. Professor?
Like, Babylon Rogues, their entire characters revolve around the Rider series and, like, the racing games. They already have that. Fucking Professor Pickle.
The contents: fresh cucumber, sliced thinly
God, I had the chance to do an entire Sonic characters with their own games discussion in the span of how long that fucking stage took. That's kind of insane. Like, I love the Werehog stages, but God, are they long. That was probably like 30 minutes of just me ranting.
First things first. It's about time someone taught the chef here how to make a proper sandwich.
You can file a complaint later, Professor.
Let's get out of here before Eggman's welcoming committee shows up.
Oh, yes, quite. But let us be sure to collect the
Yeah.
contents of the...
Honestly, okay. So how I feel about the boost formula is you could go either way, because the boost formula can work. It can work. The problem is that they don't make it work, because Unleashed proves that the boost formula does work.
After being fed nothing but those terrible...
They just need to go back to how Unleashed was and go with that.
My. Don't mind if I do.
Like, I feel like Blaze would work better because, as you said, she pioneered it. Like, the Rush games were the original Boost games. And
Legend of a disaster that befell our planet some
I feel like the open zone formula is technically Boost, in my opinion, but it is its own. Technically, it's its own thing.
time the planet has been...
In my opinion, it is Boost formula with extra steps, but by itself, it is very much its own thing. And I feel like that works for Sonic, and maybe Shadow.
I feel like Shadow could do his own thing.
Like, Shadow could work for a lot of things.
So how do we stop this, Dark Gaia, and put the world back together?
Look, Dark Gaia has yet to be fully...
And using a modified Lost World engine.
Eggman's premature wake-up call to thank for that.
They took some things from Lost World,
Power to the Chaos Emeralds.
and it is very strange. I think what they're using is Hedgehog Engine 2.
Planet's power will restore...
Like, this game runs on Hedgehog Engine, and so did 06. Hedgehog Engine 2 is a lot of the newer games. And the problem with Hedgehog Engine 2 is that it doesn't really lend itself to, like, these kind of games. Weirdly enough. Like, it has very weird physics. And also, one thing I would say about like Sonic's formula at the moment, ditch the fucking double jump. That's one thing I will 100% always say. Ditch the fucking double jump. There is no place that it needs to be here. And it literally just exists to imitate... God, my throat. I need a drink. Okay, that's better. Well, like, it's not that it's generic for him. It's just that it makes levels very wonky to play if you're using the double jump. And if you're gonna have that, like, if you're gonna have these levels, they need to just ditch the double jump and just increases normal jump height to where it'll be higher when you hold it. Because the double jump itself is very, very clunky. It's not that it's generic, it's just super clunky. And it doesn't really work. At least work well. Like, it's a weird thing. Oh yeah. Plot. I forgot. Yeah. God, I feel like I could just make that like make that entire discussion its own video.
Not my good. If you all behave, I won't have to do anything nasty.
I probably should.
Do is tell me where the Temple of Gaia is.
We're not telling you.
Like, just talking about hypothetical Sonic games.
So, you dare to defy me, do you?
But yeah, there's a lot of things that they do need to fix about Sonic's moveset in general. Ditch the double jump,
Oh, Eggman.
but
Thanks for that little
also
side
ditch
eye.
the wall jump panels and let Sonic just jump off walls.
Little hedgehog.
Because that could work really well if they let Sonic do this.
In any case, I'm busy. Farewell.
True. None of these games have, like, tried to embrace his, acrobatics.
Everyone here already
And I feel like that's one thing that the open zone formula really could do well. It could do insanely well. Because you're essentially roaming around a giant area. And one idea, so again, talking about this last night, about the the Frontiers 2, that's going to be a thing, or like the next open zone game, or just next game in general. So, what they could do is like a Spider-Man 2018 New York, but it's like stuff like Central City, Spagonia, Empire City, stuff like that. Like, just let us have big open hub worlds that you can run around in and have stuff to do, instead of just being a weird, like, empty island. Because the entire reason that the cyberspace stages exist in Frontiers is because there's not a goddamn thing to do. There's nothing to do in that game outside of running around and collecting the things and going up platforming and stuff outside of the cyberspace stages. And I am somebody who does enjoy Frontiers quite a lot, but it just, there's nothing to do. And I feel like that's something that they could do. And they could do really well. Bonanza had cyberspace stages, but true. Like, the thing that they really do need to take a lot from Bonanza, like, idea-wise, and put their own spin on it. Because there's so many things that work about Bonanza that don't work about, like, that are just better versions of Sonic things. And I feel like Sega needs to take that as a lesson. Because Bonanza's open world isn't empty at all. There's tons of stuff to do. There's tons of collectibles that are actually interesting and give you something. Like, yeah, they're just mostly cosmetics, but it's cool little costumes that people like. And the overall gameplay loop of Bonanza lends itself to a sandbox game a lot better than Frontiers does, in my opinion. It's like, it's a weird thing, because there's so many things that they could have done better with Frontiers that other games already have done, and Sega really should take a look at those and do that. But put their own spin off, not just put their own spin on it and not just copy it. Like, do a big city, but make it like how the Frontiers overworld is, where there's tons of stuff to do. And, like, also, another thing I was talking about last night, bring in fucking Sonic characters as, like, little side quests. For the love of God, Sega, just let your characters exist in the world. And that would be the perfect way to introduce characters like the IDW characters, is just as small little NPC. Oh, shit. I was not paying attention. is just small little NPC appearances to just exist. And, like, do, like, a little side quest for them. Like, say you're going through a city and you're helping the Chaotix with a detective mission, or you're finding Froggy for Big. Stuff like that as, like, side quests would work insanely well. But there's nothing to do, and that really dampens the idea of Frontiers a lot in terms of the open zone. Yeah, the main problem with Boost is that it's the main tool instead of Sonic having various big tools. Like, again, so what they should do is focus on Sonic's acrobatics, but also they should focus on implementing various parts of Sonic's moveset into, like, different parts of the game, or like into his moveset. Like, say you have the boost as your main form of transportation and like running through, but you can also add it to function with stuff like the light speed dash. Like, bring back stuff like the light speed dash, bring in parkour from Lost World, but make it better. There's a lot of stuff that you could do. There is a lot of options. Bring in the combat system from Frontiers. Like, bring in every single part of Sonic's moveset and make it Sonic's moveset. I feel like that's the best thing you could do. Yeah, I forgot how this boss worked. That's how you do. Oh. I'm thinking that's a different thing. Oh. Yeah, that's all of them. Also, I've been trying to play through Heroes again. That game desperately needs a remake. Like, I feel like as like a smaller project between... Like, they should focus on Frontiers 2 right now. Or just whatever next game they're planning on. But after they've done that, or like they get like a B team, like if they get a B team, or like just do a small project, it should be Heroes Remake. Good lord, that game needs a remake so badly. They need to fix that game. Like, Heroes... So, in my opinion, Heroes is just as bad as 06 in terms of jankiness and bugginess. But it doesn't get nearly as much flack because it could work and it has a decent idea to it. Whereas 06 was doomed from the beginning because they just didn't have time to do anything. Whereas Heroes is at least a completed story and a completed game. It is just an incredibly flawed and... it's a hot mess. And I wish I could like Heroes, but I cannot stand Heroes. Like, I can't stand playing Heroes. Like, I feel like the games they should focus on, Frontiers 2, and then either after or with a B team, make a Heroes remake, make a new game, maybe make an 06 remake, or retry 06. And sprinkle like a random B team classic Sonic game here and there.
Like, I would like a good classic Sonic game, but
we gotta wait for that. Because Superstars just ain't it, and I hope they realize that.
Is that the Temple of Gaia?
Let's check it out.
Superstars is just another classic game. I agree. And that's the problem, is that Superstars is quite literally the new Super Mario Bros. Of the classic Sonic series. Like, think of Sonic 1, 2, 3, and CD as Mario 1, 2, 3, and World. There's a reason to play each different one of them over the other, or like prefer one over the other. But Superstars is quite literally just like New Super Mario Bros. U. Whereas like Superstars just doesn't really do anything to stand out, and that's the issue. I would actually think that just New Super Mario Bros. Itself, not the series, like just the first game, that would be Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania it was a return to form for classic Sonic games and bringing back a lot of the old Sonic stuff from the classic era. And that's mostly what New Super Mario Bros. Did, while still keeping it fresh, just like how Mania did. Whereas Sonic Superstars is New Super Mario Bros. Wii and U and 2, where it's just kind of the same game over and over again with different flavors. And that's essentially what Superstars is. It's just another classic game. And for me, I am a huge Rush fan. I would, like, please give us a Rush collection. Give us an advanced collection especially. But Sonic Rush, for me, I wouldn't say that's New Super Mario Bros. Because Sonic Rush does have sauce. It is one of the sauciest Sonic games out there. And Sonic Rush, I'm trying to think of what a comparison to the Mario series would be. If I can think of one. I'm trying to come up with a comparison. I feel like if anything, the Rush series would be more like Wonder. Because it brought so much new things to 2D Sonic and the Sonic formula. Or maybe even just like... Even just the 3D World, 3D Land games. Yeah, Rush is very much a natural evolution of the games. Like, you can argue that it is New Super Mario Bros. Itself, but I feel like that lines more of Sonic Mania. Rush, I don't really know what a good, like, comparison is. Rush is just kind of its own thing for me. Because it is very unique in its playstyle, and there's not really a whole lot like it in the Sonic series. Like, yes, it is 2D Boost, but it's very unique for 2D Boost. Because you have the whole trick system, you have a lot of different stage gimmicks that do their own things. It's a very unique game. But yes, it is very much the natural evolution, in my opinion. Kind of wish that classic and modern didn't separate. So the separation wasn't really from Rush. It was because of Mania. That's what kind of made... Actually, no, it was Generations. Generations was what separated classic Sonic from modern Sonic and made it kind of its own thing. Like, Rush is very much just another Sonic game. Whereas Generations and Mania really do make it into its own thing and like separate things. Because prior to those games, Classic Sonic was just kind of Sonic. It wasn't called Classic Sonic. It was just the first couple Sonic games. And that, I feel like, is the best way to put it, in my opinion, is Classic Sonic wasn't a thing until Sonic Generations. And that's kind of when it became a brand, compared to what it was before, where it was just older Sonic. Separation hadn't happened, we could have gotten more 2D games. Honestly, I agree to an extent. Like, Classic Sonic in the modern day is a very weird thing to talk about. Because it is very much a different formula and a different style of game, but it was very much meant to just be, that's what Sonic played like before, now it plays differently. Generations and Mania pretty much stated, oh yeah, this is a whole different playstyle. This is its own whole thing. And like, no offense, like, I love Generations, I love Mania. But it's a weird thing to talk. Like, I don't know. And because of the fact that Mania is its own, or like, that Classic Sonic has become its own thing, it is leading into other games that are specifically classic Sonic games instead of just being Sonic games that are in the older style. Or not really. I'm trying to think of how I can word this. Like, I don't know the best way to word it. Yeah, Classic Sonic is essentially the 2D Mario games. Like, there is a distinction of 2D and 3D Mario games. And Classic Sonic was made into that distinction. Oh, fuck. That actually jump scared me. Jesus. I got jump scared by Saul. Good lord. And I accidentally did that too, so we're probably gonna have to sit through that again. Fuck. Oh my god. That actually jump scared me. I wasn't expecting Saul Goodman. God. No, Saul is just straight up the loading screen. It just replaces the loading screen. That's it. That's all it does. Oh, that's how you... I always forget that the stomp is an unlockable thing. But yeah, I feel like Superstars... It's very much just there to be a classic Sonic game, when I feel like the classic Sonic games could be insanely good as their own series. Because there is a fan game called Sonic Galactic that is taking the classic Sonic games and essentially adding so much sauce to Sonic's moveset in that game. Like, it's adding the wall jump, it's going up wall, like, you can wall jump, go up walls, you can, I'm pretty sure, slide. Like, it keeps the drop dash, like, it adds a lot more to Sonic's kit that makes it feel more like its own thing. But it's kind of just that. Like, it's kind of just a really good game. Like, it's what it's what classic Sonic could be if they locked the fuck in. And I feel like it's just that. Like, for the classic Sonic games, they just need to lock in. Oh. Yeah, Sonic 3, like, all three classic Sonic games do something, and Sonic Superstars just doesn't do anything to really make it stand out. And that's the main issue. Like, you need at least some, like, really cool gameplay element or really cool levels or something to make your game stand out if you're gonna make a new classic Sonic game that can stand alongside the originals. At least that's how I see it. Like, Superstars has the chaos abilities, but they don't really add a whole lot. They don't do much in the grand scheme of the game. Fuck. Yeah, like, you need to add a gimmick that's not just who the hell cares. Like, add something that's really interesting and unique to that game, and you've got a good game on your hands. But Sonic Superstars doesn't really do that, and it's kind of just... Again, it's just another classic Sonic game compared to Sonic 2. It has interesting levels, and it introduced Tails to your kit. Sonic 3, as you said, it's very cinematic and introduced Knuckles and introduced more story into Sonic and kind of just introduced story into Sonic in general. Sonic CD had its whole time travel mechanic and introduced Metal Sonic and Amy. Like, it does a lot. And Sonic Superstars, it introduces the chaos powers that don't really do a whole lot outside of small circumstances, and if you want to use them. And it introduces Trip, who is just kind of there, and is kind of just there to be like a gluck shitto, if that makes sense. Like, she exists to be another Sonic character instead of be an interesting, like, part of the lore or Sonic pantheon, if that's a way that I can put it. Like, the Sonic pantheon of, like, all these different characters that are unique
and memorable. Because, like, yeah, they tried, but the main issue with Superstars is that they didn't really show what could make Trip interesting. Like, yes, she is kind of Knuckles, but with her own flair. Like, she is a Guardian, but she's a younger, less experienced Guardian. And she could be a character that works in Knuckles' like story. But that's told through the comics. That is told through the comics, and it is not in the games. The only thing it really shows in the games is that, oh, she can turn into a dragon with these Chaos Emeralds. Oh, she's being manipulated by Fang and Eggman. That's kind of it. Most of her lore is in the background. And that's the biggest issue with, Trip as a character. Is that they didn't really give her a whole lot in the game to make her unique. And so it doesn't really work. Honestly, that's fair. I probably should end stream here. Like, it's been a short stream. I've got a couple levels done. I think that was a solid stream. Like, it was almost 2 hours. I think that is a pretty solid stream. And I will end it here. Who should I raid? I could probably raid somebody. There is one person playing Sonic Unleashed, that's about it. And I only have the one viewer anyway, who is probably getting off.